welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up. In the first of many Halloween horrors to come over the years, we've been focusing this month on films celebrating anniversaries this year, and we come now to the 45th anniversary of William Friedkin's adaptation of William Peter Blatty's 1971 novel The Exorcist. To say the film is a divider amongst audiences is an understatement. You either love Friedkin's vision of Blatty's work and marvel in the performances and the growing dread throughout the narrative, or you giggle at all the profanity coming from a young Linda Blair's potty mouth as she becomes possessed by the devil himself, and you poo-poo the elongated story. There was a time when this reviewer's opinion would gravitate towards the latter of those aforementioned opinions, but upon rewatch of the film for this review, it's incredible to see how wrong I was. Widely regarded in critical circles as one of, if not the greatest horror film of all time, The Exorcist is a work of art, from the first frame until the last. This isn't supposed to be full gross-out horror that we've become accustomed to in recent years. Instead, a melodrama about a mother and her fatherless daughter coming to terms with an evil spirit invading their home and taking over their lives. Without getting ahead of ourselves, let's return to the opening of the film, where we contrast Max von Sydow's Father Merrin and his mysterious archaeological dig in northern Iraq to Georgetown, Washington, where a Hollywood actress Chris McNeil and her daughter Reagan are visiting Washington and renting accommodation whilst Chris works on a new feature film. Aware that she doesn't get to spend enough time with her daughter as she should, Chris learns that Reagan has been playing with a Ouija board in the basement, and she soon becomes increasingly concerned with her daughter's behaviour. Meanwhile, Father Karras is suffering a crisis of faith as he's trying to decide what is best for his frail, elderly mother, whilst battling his own demons about remaining a priest. Karras' conflict leads Chris to employ his help when she discovers, after numerous tests on her daughter, that Reagan has become possessed by the devil itself and will require an exorcism. Friedkin brings audiences a film of two halves, with the film showcasing familial drama in its first half, and in its second causing us to exclaim in horror on multiple occasions at what was shown on screen. In particular, in the extended cut of the film, Reagan coming downstairs on her back like a spider bleeding at the mouth, and Reagan being tossed around violently on her shaking bed and stabbing her genitalia with a crucifix whilst attacking her mother. Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, though used sparingly early on in the film, is both atmospheric and spine-tingling and is the perfect theme for the film, and Friedkin directs brilliantly throughout, ramping up the horror as the narrative deepens to the chilling final half hour, which is some of the best work in the horror genre. The film's biggest shock? Probably the fraction of a second flashes on screen of a white devil face on a jet black screen, reminding us that while characters come and go, the devil is always the driving force, a constant, watching on, even in our dreams. Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair lead an inspired cast as the troubled mother and daughter. Jason Miller is superb as the conflicted Father Karras, who ultimately tries to find forgiveness and ends up accepting his fate. And Max von Sydow is brilliant in his brief screen time as Father Merrin, suffering with his own health, who assists in Reagan's exorcism. The shot of Merrin arriving on Chris's doorstep in shadow, only lit by the streetlights, is an example of the film's beautifully striking cinematography from Owen Roizman. The film's biggest defender in the critical field still appears to be Mark Kermode to this day, and upon closer inspection of the film, it's hard to disagree with anything he has to say. The film would have been shocking to audiences seeing it for the first time in 1973, and it still has the power to shock 45 years on. From Crawford-Clark Close-Up, The Exorcist deserves. Where does The Exorcist sit for you in the horror pantheon? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to Crawford-Clark Close-Up for more. Come and join us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and you can also email us your thoughts about the channel and suggestions for future reviews to crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com. Up next, we're concluding our month of Halloween horror as we count down to October the 31st with a retrospective of the Halloween film series. We'll be reviewing all 11 films to date over 3 videos and giving you our ranking of the series in a 4th. Until then, thanks for watching, and until next time, that's a wrap.